Hey everyone, Alex here, and
It's Ella.
with me today, and we're diving into something
Yeah.
pretty huge. Uh, it's taken the world by storm. The new Wicked movie.
Oh,
Have
yeah.
you heard about it?
Yeah.
Seems like it's
Everyone's talking about it.
everywhere for good reason,
Yeah.
I think.
And for good reason, I have
Yeah.
to admit.
What do you think?
I wasn't sure what to expect at first.
Okay.
I enjoyed the book,
Huh.
but the stage musical didn't really do it for me.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
But this movie,
This movie's different.
completely different.
Really?
Yeah, it actually got me a little teary-eyed
Wow.
with all the singing and dancing.
Really color me intrigued.
Right.
So what is it about the movie that really makes it stand out from the stage production?
Well, for starters, Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande are just incredible as Elphaba and Glinda.
Yeah.
You really feel their connection on screen,
Wow.
both as friends and as rivals.
Yeah.
And it's like their voices were made to sing together, and their acting is just as powerful.
Okay, yeah. I've heard
It's really something.
amazing things about their performances.
Yeah.
I'm curious, though, what is it about the story itself that resonates so much with audiences,
Yeah.
Wickeds, based on
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, obviously a classic, we all know,
Right.
but it flips the script and it shows us the Wicked Witch's perspective.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is so compelling?
I think it's fascinating.
Yeah.
I think people are just drawn to stories that challenge our assumptions.
Yeah.
We grow up with this idea of good versus evil,
Right.
but Wicked makes us kind of question those labels.
Yeah.
Like it shows us the Wicked Witch's backstory,
Yeah.
her struggles and all the events that shaped her.
Uh-huh.
And suddenly she's not just a villain anymore. She's like this complex character with feelings and motivations,
Yeah.
you know?
I think you hit the nail on the head there. I think it's all about empathy. Like by seeing things from the Wicked Witch's point of view, we start to understand her, maybe even sympathize with her a little bit.
Yeah.
And it makes us wonder, are things always as black and white as they seem?
Exactly. And what's even more interesting is that Wicked was originally meant to be a movie
Oh, remember?
before it even became like a hit musical.
Wow.
The author, Gregory Maguire, actually envisioned it for the big screen back in the 90s.
That's a fun fact. I didn't know that. So how did it end up on Broadway first?
Well, back then, studios weren't as keen on big fantasy films,
Okay.
especially ones without a major male lead.
I see.
But the composer, Stephen Schwartz,
Yeah.
he saw the potential in the story,
Yeah.
and he convinced Universal to develop it as a musical first,
Oh, wow.
thinking, it could then make a smoother transition to film.
Okay.
Talk about a brilliant strategy.
Yeah, like he had a crystal ball.
Right.
He understood that music could add a whole new dimension to the story, allowing for a deeper exploration of the character's emotions.
Right.
And look at the results,
Yeah.
Both the musical and the movie have been huge successes. It just proves that Schwartz was spot on.
Totally.
The songs really allow us to experience Glinda and Elphaba's inner worlds in a way that words alone just couldn't achieve.
Right.
Their hopes,
Yeah.
their fears, their dreams, it all comes through in the music.
It's amazing how music can amplify a story's emotional impact.
Definitely.
And speaking of impact, there's one cinematic connection we can't ignore.
Yeah.
The 1939 classic, The Wizard of Oz. I mean,
Yeah.
it's iconic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the new Wicked film pays homage to the original in a really clever way.
Okay.
Remember that scene at the beginning of the film?
Yeah.
The one with the Wicked Witch's hat just lying in a puddle?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like a direct visual link
Right.
connecting the two stories.
Exactly.
A subtle nod to the classic.
Yeah.
And what's really cool is that you couldn't do something like that on stage.
Right. It's a perfect example of how the film utilizes the power of cinema to create a unique experience.
It's true.
So,
That single shot, it really sets the tone for the entire film.
yeah.
Reminding us of the world we're stepping into, but also hinting at a different perspective. Plus, the movie is just visually stunning overall.
I bet.
The sets are so elaborate, the costumes are gorgeous, and
Yeah.
the special effects are breathtaking.
It's like a feast for the eyes.
It really is.
It sounds like a true spectacle.
Yeah.
And when you combine that visual spectacle with the powerhouse performances
Yeah.
and the emotionally resonant story, it's no wonder the movie's creating such a buzz.
Right.
So-
It's a combination of so many things done right.
Yeah.
The acting, the music, the visuals, the storytelling.
Yeah.
They all come together to create something truly special.
Right.
It's not just entertainment. It's an experience.
It's an experience that stays with you.
It stays with you.
long after those credits roll.
Yeah.
Well, before we move on, I think there are a few words that we've used today that might be new
Oh, yeah.
for some of you listening, especially if you're learning English.
Of course.
But don't worry, we're going to break them down for you.
All right, so one of the first words we used was skeptical, which means having doubts
Well,
or not believing something easily.
right.
Like, for example, I was skeptical about the movie at first.
Yeah.
But then I was blown away.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a great word to know.
Yeah.
Another word we used was resonate.
Okay.
When something resonates with you, it means it creates a strong emotional response or connection.
Right, like how the themes of friendship and acceptance in Wicked resonate with audiences of all ages.
Makes sense. We also talked about strategy.
Yeah.
Which is a plan of action designed to achieve a specific goal.
Exactly like Stephen Schwartz's strategy to bring Wicked to Broadway first,
Yeah.
before adapting it into a film.
That was a smart move.
Smart move.
And remember homage?
Oh, yeah.
A special honor or respect shown to someone or something. The opening scene of Wicked pays homage to the original Wizard of Oz with that shot of the hat.
Yeah.
Great words.
Some great words to add to your vocabulary.
Yeah. And speaking of expanding your English skills,
Yes.
if you're looking for a fun and engaging way to learn, you should definitely check out Kaz English.
Oh, yeah.
It's a fantastic online platform,
It is.
perfect for beginners,
Yes.
and those looking to move into intermediate English.
Yeah.
What I love about it is that they use real-life conversations to teach you the language. So you can actually use what you learn in everyday situations.
Right, right.
I love that it's not just about memorizing grammar rules. It's about understanding how people actually speak and interact in English.
Absolutely. And they have this really cool learning player that makes it so easy to follow along and practice your pronunciation.
Nice.
Plus, they cover a wide range of topics.
Yeah.
So you're sure to find something that interests you.
So you're not just shoehorned into one specific thing.
Yeah.
But let's get back to Wicked.
Okay.
We've talked about the performances, the visuals, the connection to the Wizard of Oz. One thing we haven't touched on yet is how the movie handles the theme of good versus evil. I mean, that's at the core of both stories. But Wicked definitely takes a more nuanced approach.
It does.
Than the original.
Yeah, doesn't it? It's not as simple as saying Elphaba is bad and Glinda is good.
Yeah.
You know, the movie challenges us to look beyond those labels and to consider the choices each character makes, the pressures that they face, and the consequences of their actions.
It's like the movie is saying that everyone has the potential for both good and evil within them. And it's often circumstances that push them in one direction or the other.
Right.
You know?
And that's what makes it so thought-provoking.
Yeah.
It forces us to question our own judgments and biases.
Right. And our assumptions.
It asks us to consider what makes someone wicked. Is it their actions, their intentions, or something else entirely?
It's a question that lingers long after you've finished watching the movie.
It really does.
I think that's the mark of a truly great story.
I think so, too.
It stays with you, makes you think,
Yeah.
and it maybe even changes your perspective a little.
Absolutely. And Wicked does all of that in such a captivating and entertaining way.
It does.
It's a story that deserves all the hype it's getting.
I completely agree. Now, let's take a closer look at one of the most fascinating aspects of Wicked, the adaptation process.
Okay.
It's gone from book to stage to screen.
Right.
And each iteration has brought something unique to the story.
Yeah, it's really remarkable how they've managed to maintain the essence of the story while also tailoring it to each medium.
Yeah.
You know, the book is obviously the foundation, but the musical added a whole new layer with the music and like the spectacle of a live performance. And now the film brings its own strengths to the table.
Yeah.
Using visuals and cinematic techniques to create a truly immersive experience.
Exactly. And I think one of the biggest challenges in adapting Wicked is capturing the complex relationship between Glinda and Elphaba.
Yeah.
You know, they start as unlikely friends.
Yeah.
But their paths diverge as they navigate the challenges and injustices of their world.
Absolutely.
You know, it's such a dynamic relationship.
It is.
Full of ups and downs, moments of support and moments of conflict.
Right.
It's really the heart of the story.
It is.
And it's not always easy to translate that complexity from page to stage to screen.
It's true.
But I think the filmmakers have done a phenomenal job of conveying
Yeah.
the nuances of their friendship and rivalry.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the most compelling aspects in the movie.
And you really feel the chemistry
Oh, yeah.
between the actresses.
Between the actresses.
And you can't help but be invested in their journey together.
It's
a testament to the power of good storytelling.
Yes.
Even though we know how their story ends,
right.
we're still drawn in by their individual struggles
Yeah.
and the choices they make.
Absolutely.
Speaking of choices, let's talk about the decision to open the movie
Okay.
with that shot of the Wicked Witch's hat.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a powerful image,
It is.
and it immediately sets a different tone
It does.
compared to the stage musical.
It's brilliant, isn't it? It's like the filmmakers are saying, we know you think you know this story, but we're going to show you something new.
Right.
It's a subtle nod to the original Wizard of Oz, while also signaling a fresh perspective.
Yeah, it's a great example of how the film utilizes cinematic language
It is.
to enhance the storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's something we'll be diving into even deeper in the next part of our deep dive.
I can't wait.
We'll be exploring the specific techniques the filmmakers used to bring Wicked to life on screen, from the use of color and lighting to the framing of shots and the editing choices.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be fascinating to unpack all of that and see how they've crafted such a visually stunning and emotionally resonant experience. So make sure to stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive into the world of Wicked.
We'll be right back.
Right back after a short break.
After a short break.
See ya.
Bye. And we're back with our deep dive into all things Wicked.
Yes, we are.
Before the break, we were talking about how the film so cleverly uses cinematic techniques to enhance the storytelling.
Right.
And one of the most striking examples for me is how they play with color.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
The use of color in this film is just incredible.
It is.
It's not just about making things look pretty. It's about using color to convey emotions and themes.
Exactly. Take, for example, the contrast between Glinda and Elphaba.
Okay.
Glinda, with her bubbly personality and love of all things pink and sparkly. She's often bathed in these warm, bright colors.
It's like her world is literally full of sunshine.
It's true. Her costumes, her surroundings, even the lighting when she's on screen, all contribute to this sense of lightness and optimism.
Yeah, and then you have Elphaba, who is often associated with darker, cooler tones like greens and blues.
Yeah.
This reflects not only her physical appearance,
of course,
her green skin,
right,
but also her outsider status and the challenges that she faces.
Right. It's a subtle but effective way to visually represent their different personalities and journeys. And it's not just about individual characters. Color is used to create a sense of atmosphere and mood throughout the film.
Right. Think about the scene where Elphaba first arrives at Shiz University.
Okay.
The whole place is this vibrant, almost overwhelming explosion of color.
Yeah.
Representing the excitement and possibility of a new beginning.
Right.
But as Elphaba encounters prejudice and discrimination, the colors become more muted.
Reflecting the growing darkness of her experiences.
Yeah. It's a powerful way to show how her environment and the way she's treated by others impacts her emotional state.
Exactly.
And speaking of powerful visuals, the film also uses some really interesting framing techniques.
Oh, yeah.
To draw our attention to specific details or emotions.
Absolutely. One thing I noticed was how often they use close-ups on the characters' faces, particularly during emotional moments.
Yeah.
This allows us to really see the nuances of their expressions, drawing us into their inner world.
It's like we're right there with them, feeling what they're feeling. Yeah. And it's not just close-ups.
Right.
They also use wide shots to emphasize the vastness of the world of Oz.
Yeah.
Creating a sense of wonder and scale.
Those sweeping shots of the Emerald City, for example, are just breathtaking.
Yeah.
They really capture the magic and grandeur of this fantastical world.
And then you have those clever transitions. And editing choices that seamlessly connect different scenes and ideas. Like, for example, there's a moment where Glinda is singing about her dreams of popularity.
Okay.
And it cuts to a scene of Elphaba struggling to fit in.
Yeah.
Such a subtle way to juxtapose their contrasting experiences.
It's brilliant. It highlights the themes of social hierarchy and the pressures to conform without explicitly stating them.
Right.
But
it adds another layer of depth to their relationship.
Right.
Showing how their paths though initially intertwined, are ultimately leading them in different directions.
Exactly, and all these cinematic choices, the
Right.
color palettes, the framing,
Yeah.
the editing,
Right.
they all work together to create a cohesive and visually stunning experience
Yeah.
that enhances the emotional impact of the story.
It's like the filmmakers have taken every opportunity to elevate the material, making it more than just a musical adaptation.
Yeah.
It's a true work of cinematic art.
And it's clear that a lot of thought and care went into every detail.
Yeah.
They weren't just content with putting the stage production on screen. They
Yeah.
wanted to create something unique and memorable.
I think they've succeeded.
Yeah.
But let's not forget about the music.
Oh, yeah.
We talked earlier about how the songs amplify the emotions of the story, but I'd love to delve a little deeper
Of course.
into the specific ways they do that.
One thing that struck me was how the music often reflects the characters' emotional journeys.
Yeah.
For example, Elphaba's early songs. They're full of longing and a sense of not belonging.
Yeah.
But as she embraces her power and her identity,
Right.
her music becomes more defiant and empowering.
You can literally hear her transformation through the music.
Exactly.
And Glinda's songs,
Yeah.
while initially bubbly and upbeat,
Right.
take on a more introspective tone
Yeah.
as she confronts her own flaws and the complexities of her friendship with Elphaba.
It's like the music is giving us a window into their souls, allowing us to experience their joys, their doubts, their fears, and their triumphs.
And in the use of leitmotifs,
Oh, yes.
those recurring musical themes associated with specific characters or ideas is also really effective.
Like that haunting melody that plays whenever Elphaba's feeling isolated or misunderstood.
Right.
It's like a musical reminder of her struggle to find her place in the world.
It adds a layer of emotional depth
Right.
that goes beyond the lyrics themselves. You
Yeah.
can feel the weight of her experiences through the music.
And then there's the way they use music to build tension and anticipation.
Right.
Leading up to those big show-stopping numbers.
Oh, those are my favorite.
Oh, they're so good.
The energy just builds and builds, and then it explodes
Yes.
into this incredible performance that leaves you breathless.
It's like the music is taking you on a roller coaster ride
It really is.
of emotions.
And those big numbers aren't just about spectacle.
No.
They're also crucial moments of character development. Like, think about Elphaba's iconic song, Defying Gravity.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just a powerful anthem.
Right.
It's a turning point in her story where she embraces her true self and chooses to fight for what she believes in.
It's such a liberating moment.
It is this.
Both for the character and for the audience.
Yeah, you can't help but feel inspired
Right.
by her courage and determination.
And it's a perfect example of how Wicked uses music to not only entertain, but also to convey profound messages
Yeah.
about identity, acceptance, and the power of choosing your own path.
It's a reminder that even those who are deemed wicked by society can have hearts full of love, compassion, and a desire to make a difference in the world.
And that's a message that resonates deeply with audiences,
It does.
regardless of their background or beliefs.
It's a testament to the enduring power of storytelling and the way that music can amplify those stories, making them even more impactful and unforgettable.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up our deep dive, I think it's important to address one final aspect of Wicked,
Okay.
its legacy and its cultural impact.
I agree. Wicked has become a phenomenon,
It has.
transcending the stage and the screen to become a part of popular culture.
Yeah.
People dress up as Elphaba and Glinda for Halloween. They quote the songs.
Right.
They debate the themes.
Yeah.
It's become more than just a piece of entertainment.
It sparked conversations, challenged perspectives,
Yeah,
inspired countless people to embrace their own uniqueness.
it's true.
Yeah.
So what do you think it is about Wicked that has allowed it to have such a lasting impact?
Well, I think it's a combination of factors.
Yeah.
You know, the story itself is incredibly compelling,
Yeah,
with themes that resonate universally.
right.
Friendship acceptance, the struggle against injustice.
Absolutely. And the music is undeniably catchy.
Oh, it is.
Those songs get stuck in your head.
Yeah.
And they have a way of bringing back the emotions of the story long after you've experienced it.
Right.
And let's not forget the characters. Oh, yeah.
Elphaba and Glinda are so well developed and relatable.
They are.
Even with their fantastical elements,
Right.
we see ourselves in their struggles, their triumphs, their flaws.
And their friendship,
Yeah.
despite their differences, is something we all aspire to.
Mm-hmm.
A bond that transcends societal expectations
Mm-hmm.
and challenges us to see beyond the surface.
It's a reminder that even those who seem different from us can become our closest allies.
Right.
and that true friendship can thrive even in the face of adversity.
And I think Wicked's lasting legacy is its ability to make us question our assumptions, to see the world from a different perspective, and to embrace the complexity of good and evil.
It's a story that stays with you,
It does.
provoking thought and encouraging empathy long after the curtain falls or the credits roll.
And for those of you who are on a journey to improve your English, a journey not unlike Alphabas in a way,
Right.
we have a fantastic resource for you.
We want to give a shout out to Kaz English.
An online platform that's perfect for taking your English skills to the next level,
It is.
especially if you're at a beginner or intermediate level.
What I love about Kaz English is that they use real-life conversations to teach you the language, making it so much more relevant and engaging than traditional methods.
Absolutely. They have this amazing learning player
They do.
that helps you break down those conversations, practice your pronunciation,
Yeah.
and really absorb the nuances of everyday English.
It's like having a friendly guide walking you through the intricacies of the language, making it fun and accessible for everyone.
Right. You can check them out at kazapp.uk.
Kazapp.uk.
And now, as we approach the end of our deep dive,
Okay.
I can't help but wonder, how has exploring the world of Wicked changed your perspective?
Well, it's definitely made me think about the stories we tell ourselves, the labels we assign to others, and the importance of seeking understanding rather than judgment.
It's a powerful reminder that there's always more to the story
There is.
than meets the eye.
Yeah.
And that even those who are deemed wicked can teach us valuable lessons
Right.
about compassion, courage, and the power of defying expectations.
And with that thought-provoking note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Wicked.
Yes.
We hope you've enjoyed the journey as much as we have.
May we all strive to be a little less wicked
Yeah.
and a little more understanding in our own lives.
Right.
Until next time, keep exploring.
Keep learning.
And keep those conversations going.
And keep those conversations going. See?
Bye.
It's amazing how a story like Wicked can make you kind of rethink everything you thought you knew.
Yeah.
You know, it flips the script on this classic tale and challenges us to see things from a whole new perspective.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds us that there's always more than one side to every story. And that understanding someone's past, their experiences, their struggles, can completely change how we see them.
Like that saying, don't judge someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes.
Yeah.
Wicked takes that to heart, and it shows us the world through the eyes of the so-called villain. And it makes us question those preconceived notions of good and evil.
And it does it with such heart and humor.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like a heavy-handed moral lesson.
Right.
It's a vibrant and entertaining story that just happens to make you think a little deeper about the world and the people in it.
It's a story that stays with you even after the final note is sung. I'm still thinking about those themes of friendship,
Yeah.
acceptance, and the courage to be yourself, even when the world tells you you're different.
Those themes are so universal, so timeless.
They are.
You know, it's no wonder that Wicked has resonated with audiences for so long, both on stage and now on the big screen.
Right.
It's a story that speaks to our shared human experiences, you know, our desires to belong, to be understood, to make a difference.
And it reminds us that even in a world that often seems divided,
Right.
there's still room for compassion,
Yeah.
for understanding, for building bridges instead of walls.
Absolutely. And sometimes it takes a story like Wicked,
Yeah.
a story that dares to challenge our perspectives and to flip the script on everything we thought we knew, to remind us of that.
So whether you're a longtime fan of The Wizard of Oz, or you're just discovering the magic of Wicked for the first time, I encourage you to dive in
Yeah.
and experience it for yourself. It's a journey that will stay with you.
Yeah.
It'll spark your imagination and maybe even change the way you see the world.
And if you're on a journey to kind of explore the world of English, to understand its nuances and unlock its secrets,
Right.
we have a wonderful resource to share with you.
We do.
Cause English
Yes.
is an online platform that's designed to help you learn English through real-life conversations, making it fun.
Engaging and relevant to your everyday life.
Whether you're a beginner taking your first steps or an intermediate learner looking to refine your skills, Kaz English has something for you.
I love that they break down those conversations, making them easy to understand. And their learning player helps you practice your pronunciation and really grasp those tricky idioms and expressions.
It does.
It's like having a personal English tutor right at your fingertips, guiding you through the intricacies of the language and helping you build confidence in your speaking and comprehension skills.
You can explore their world of English learning at kazap.uk.
Kazap.uk. And with that, we come to the end of our deep dive into Wiked.
Yes, we do.
We hope you've enjoyed exploring its themes, its characters, its cinematic brilliance, and its enduring message of hope and acceptance.
May we all strive to be a little less wicked.
Yeah.
And a little more understanding in our own lives.
Absolutely.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep those conversations going.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everyone.